Gen V Season 2 has started so well. The first thing I've really enjoyed about this season is very subtle, like new characters that have been showcased to us. I'm a massive superhero fan. I love Marvel. I'm now getting into the DCU. What I love to see is just the different superhero powers and their abilities. And the main one we saw that was new was Dognot. That was such a cool character to see introduced. Of course, he was horrible. Don't get it twisted. But it was a very cool character to see introduced. Especially with how he was sniffing her out just like a dog. And what I found really funny in the moment was when they were fighting, Marie and Dognot, she puts his head into the toilet, just like dogs do. You know, they drink toilet water. But yeah, I really enjoyed Dognot, and I'm sure we're going to see more of him in the future, because that is just what a tool to be using to track people down. And it's just fun to see where the mind goes of like the creator of the boys and this universe is like, what are we going to see next? Because you can realistically do anything, because obviously with Compound V, it can make you any superhero power going. So I really like that. I also want to mention, and it's a very subtle character, but you know, the human that works in the coffee shop in Godolkin, who's consistently having to take down the resist posters being put up at her coffee shop, especially when she's getting abused by those around her. I really enjoyed this character for one reason. It put us into the world. Okay, the way that this world has changed is drastic from the last season. Of course, the tensions are higher than ever. The sides are so polarized. They're opposite. They hate each other. We saw that in The Boys season 4. And now we're seeing it in this world here. And, you know, the humans having to go through the security checks, having to be tagged when they go into Godolkin to be clearly known to be the humans. And it just does feel like, you know, one thing that Gen V does perfectly is referencing just society as a whole. And what's brilliant is we can all put ourselves in those shoes because we are human beings. So just imagine being in this world where soups are doing that, especially the security guard that was like obviously got x-ray vision. That was horrible. That was sickening. And it was, you know, again, a highlight on reality, because just because they had x-ray vision doesn't mean that stuff like that doesn't happen to women anyway. And I really just thought it was a great character to showcase to us. Like the start of episode 2 or 3, I can't remember which one, she takes like 3 Xanaxes, goes in, experiences that, and as we get the aerial shot, we see her running, and she's running towards the coffee shop where we've already seen her be attacked and be threatened for views that she may not even have or may not even want to showcase. She's being forced to do that by this speedster who keeps going around and putting it up. I felt really bad for her, and it really makes you automatically feel, you know, empathy 10 times more, because you can put yourself in those shoes so quickly, as we are all human beings. Another fantastic character, of course, was Cypher. I'm really intrigued to see where this goes, especially the reveal of Cypher being the person that gave, you know, was the doctor that was at the birth of Marie. And then we find out Marie is Odessa. So there's so much to look into here, and I love the fact they released 1, 2 and 3 all together, because I'm a binge watcher. I do enjoy watching stuff back to back to back, so it was really, really cool just to see him first introduced, obviously very firm and you know, harsh with Kate, no nonsense basically, putting her hand in the blender almost, and then going from that to, you know, having a real big interest in Marie, and then we find out why with that reveal. On top of that, of course, he's got the seminar fight class thing, which again is messed up. Of course, you love seeing action stuff and those sequences play out, especially them using their powers. What does feel a little bit worrying though is like where that's going to go. Of course, he's referring to it over and over again. We're building your soldiers, basically. They're building an army for the possibility of a fight that will never come, because the humans aren't actually against the soups in that way. There was obviously Adira Shetty was the one that was doing that, building the virus, but they've used that now and polarized it to all humans are terrible, and it's just created this massive debate. And this moves me over to my second point of why I'm really enjoying the season and why I think the season could be very good. Of course, with the Odessa reveal, there's going to be more to learn there, but the big thing I think is going to really push the plot and makes it so much more exciting and, you know, edge of the seat is the stakes. This is like the first season of The Boys where we're in the world post, you know, Homelander getting control of everything. And I love that. I love the spin-offs. I love the fact we can experience this universe but not be in The Boys show. I really enjoyed Gen V Season 1, and now it's just, the stakes are so much higher. Gen V Season 1 ended really, like, massively. But now Homelander, after The Boys, has, like, presidential control to some degree, and has a role within the government. So now we're seeing that play part in the world that we're in now, where every Tom, Dick and Harry is rooting for Homelander now and loves him. And this, you know, at the beginning with the Starlighters getting approached and saying you're in the wrong territory with that nonsense, and then Marie saves the day. But then unfortunately that guy loses his life because of the fact Kate's attack got manipulated and pushed onto them. As like I mentioned in my previous video, as you know, that it's a little bit making me sad. You know, it's too close to home, it's too close to reality, it's too close to where we're in the world right now, where it's just sad to see it play out again. Like I'm already seeing this in the every social media scroll and things like that. Seeing it in this, it can be a bit, but as an actual stakes and show, the stakes are so much higher than ever, and that just makes it a little bit more intriguing about where's this gonna go. You know, it's very possible that The Boys season 5 comes out and Gen V season 2, and it all ends horribly. It could all end on such a horrible note. That sounds exactly what the creators of this show would do. But hopefully it's not. But yeah, the stakes couldn't be higher, and I'm really excited to see what happens next. The last point I want to make, which I really liked this moment here between Sam and Jordan. Okay, so Sam's obviously been numbed since the end of season 1. He goes to Kate. Kate says, feel nothing, which is absolutely mental when you really think about it. But of course, Kate can't use her powers right now, so he has to confront all of his problems, and that leads us into a great new puppet sequence. You know, the Sam Widge is really talking to him and you know, highlighting all the horrible things he's done over the past few months. His crazy summer internship at Seven Towers, whatever it's called. Yeah, I really enjoyed that sequence. It looked brilliant as well. It looked fantastic. And then we learnt more about why it is puppets that he sees. Okay, we could all imagine like puppets, you know, desensitizes us watching it to the horrific things that he was doing, especially in that sequence in season 1. But we learn he loves Avenue V. And again, I just love The Boys for this, man. The Boys I think some of the best things about The Boys is the cutaway TV shows that they show. Like, you know, it contextualizes the world more, gives us more information about what goes on in this universe. And just seeing him talk about the kids show that he loved, obviously based on Avenue Q, I imagine the theatre show, puppet show thing. He's watching this kid's puppet show, and that's obviously why he sees puppets, because he says it was my safe place, it makes me feel safe. And that's why when he was in the most horrific scenario, they all become puppets. Which I really like that context given to him there, and just calling it Avenue V, like it's just, everything about, I just love it. But yeah, that's what I think about Gen V so far. Obviously only the first 3 episodes have come out, and since then it will be out once every week. I'm hoping to do a few more videos on it. If you're enjoying Gen V season 2, let me know in the comments down below. And this is where I reveal, of course, at the end of the last video, if you watched that as well, if you haven't, I did a video basically saying 3 bad points and how bad the season started, and here I'm telling you how well it started. Why? I wanted to see which one does better, because I have a feeling it'll be the negative one. I actually have enjoyed season 2 so far. There have been some moments where I didn't like it as much, but I do think the enjoyment has outweighed the bad. And what I would say is actually, if Gen V started in the way that it has here in season 1, I don't know if I would have liked it so much. I think now that I'm attached to some of the characters and things, I'm very invested. I'm excited to see where it goes. And as I mentioned, everything I said in this video and the last video, I do actually think, but I would say, guys, I think it's been better than bad. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Gen V Season 2. I've been Floppylegss, and I'll see you when I see you.